Hello soulmates, welcome to today's tutorial. Thank you for stopping by. In today's class we are going to be talking about this beautiful outfit you can see here. I'm going to be showing you the cutting and the sewing process of this lovely gown, and we are going to be concentrating more on the heart on the chest area, the keyhole in the front. So firstly, I'm going to be cutting the front process. We are going to use freehand for this tutorial, no pattern drafting. It's going to be 100% freehand drafting. So I'll fold into two, arrange it properly. We are going to cut out the front first. So here I am placing my start line. Just roll through this way. This is going to serve as my start line. Is a shaky material. The material is very light, so you consider being gentle with the rolling. If not, it will keep shifting. It won't stay in one place. So that is going to be our start line, and every measurement will be starting from there. So now I'm going to be placing all our vertical measurements, the bust points, the under bust, and the half length plus half an inch joining allowance. I'll repeat same process over here: bust points, under busts, and half length. I'm being careful because the material is shaky, so let me make my chalk more visible this side. I'm not seeing that of the half length, so that is done, after which I'm connecting with a straight rule. I believe you know how we'll do this here. Sorry, I'm blocking the camera. I'll just connect on the lines. That's the under busts now. Then I'll connect the bust point as well. Please, you have to manage the chalk. It's not that visible because of the material. So this is our shoulder divided by 2 plus half an inch joining allowance, 8.5. Then our neck width of 3 inches. Okay. At the 8.5, I'm going down by 1 inch for my shoulder sloping. Okay. Then from the shoulder sloping, I'll place my armhole depth of 8 inches. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to connect the points from the shoulder sloping to the neck width. Then I'm going to add half an inch shoulder allowance. This is for joining the front to the back. Can you see the chalk? That's the shoulder allowance over there. Then here I will equally place my shoulder divided by 2, 8.5. That is at the armhole depth. Then I'm going to connect all of the points. That's from the shoulder sloping to the armhole depth, and I will extend it this way. Hope we can see what we have. Then I'll measure everything I have there on my shoulder depth, which is 8 inches divided by 2. That is 4. I'll make a mark at 4 inches. I'm trying to trim my armhole. I'll come in here by half of an inch. Watch what I'm doing. I'll use my straight rule to connect it up to the shoulder allowance. Then use my curve rule to connect it down to the shoulder depth. Next is our horizontal measurements: bust circumference divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch seam allowance. 1.5 inch seam allowance. You can use 1 inch, you can use 1.5, you can use 2. On my waist, I'm dividing my waist by 2. Okay, plus 1.5 seam allowance. I'll connect all the points. Carefully connect the points. Yes, so this is it. Next, I'll be placing my darts. the bust span divided by 2 plus half an inch. I'll equally place it over here at the bust. I placed it on the waist and the bust line. I connect the point. Okay. Then at the waist, I'm going to go in by half inch and go out by half inch. Go out by half inch on both sides. Half inch here, half inch here. Then I'll connect it upwards. I'm going to connect it like before the bust line, 1.5 on 1 inch before the bust line. So that is it over there. What do I have there? I'll measure it. I'm having 1. I'll replace the 1. Always replace your darts. Failure to do so, your outfit will be too tight on your client. It will not fit well. So always remember that. Okay, so that is it. I will equally be placing a bust dart. I'm going to be working with 1 inch. The back is 2 inches shorter. This is freehand, not perfect pattern drafting. If it was pattern drafting, I would have done 2 inches over there, but because it's freehand, I'm using 1 inch. The remaining 1 inch is what I'm going to be using to join it. Now to the neckline, I'm working with a neck depth of 3 inches. So I'll place 3 inches at this point. I will connect it to form a triangle, get my armhole curve, and use to cut out perfectly my round neckline. Remember, I told us it's going to be having a heart, an opening, a keyhole in the bust area, but we need to have this first. So it's time to cut. Watch me while I cut. At this point, I'm encouraging you to please subscribe. Subscription is 100% free, and turn on your notification bell. Why? So that you will be the first person to know each time I drop a tutorial. Do me a favor and like the video so YouTube can show it to other people that might be interested in gaining knowledge from what I am doing here. Please subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. Let me know you're still watching to this point. Okay, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. Your notification bell should be on. If you have a question, the comment section is free for you. I will attend to all questions. Okay, let's continue with the cutting process. The dart legs, I'm just going to make a notch so that I will know where the darts will start from. I'm not cutting it out, so I made a notch at the 3 points. Can you see that? I'm just going to sew it together, and I will equally sew this bust area. Do you see? When I sew with 1 inch, automatically 2 inches has gone out from there. So now we are going to create our love keyhole, which is the primary or the basic reason for this tutorial. Okay, for a better understanding, let me do a simple sketch to show you something. Don't mind the drawing, is just a rough sketch. This is what I have on my table. So look at what we are looking at now. We want to create a love. You measure from your neck depth to where you want the opening to start from. Then you will create your love like so. Look at what I'm doing. I'm drawing a triangle. Then inside this triangle, see what I did? I'm going to create my love keyhole like so. Did you see what I drew now? Did you see that? So this is what we are going to be replicating now on our fabric. Let's go, guys. Okay, like I said, so from the neck depth, we are coming down. You will determine where you want the keyhole to start from. You could come down by 2, by 1.5, 2.5, 3, depending on you. Can you see what I'm having here? I came down by 2.5. You will determine again how deep you want the keyhole to be. How deep you want the keyhole to be. This is totally dependent on you. Thirdly, how wide do you want it to be? How deep do you want it to go this other way? Can you see? So this is how I want it to go. This, like this, and so inside this triangle. Now I came down there by 1 inch, drew this part of my love up to here, and I'm taking it down this way. If you cannot sketch a love sign like this on your paper, on your cloth, you can actually sketch it out on a piece of paper, place it on your cloth, then cut. Okay, but if you can do it this way on your fabric, it's 100% okay. So this is it. I'm cutting it out carefully, cutting it out. Hope you have subscribed. Please give the video a thumbs up. So after cutting, let's open it up. Oh my god, the heart came out perfectly well, just the way I want it. Hope you can see that perfectly well. This is the back. Okay, this is the back. So let's set that aside, fold our fabric into two again. What are we doing here now? We want to cut out our back bodies. Okay, I'll measure to be sure what I have here folded will be enough for me. Yeah, it will be enough to contain the measurements we are working with. The first thing I'm placing over here is our zipper allowance of 2 inches. Like I always say in my tutorials, 2 inches is not a standard. You could use 1, you could use 1.5, you could equally use 2 inches max. Okay, so after which, what we are placing here is our start line. I always tell you there is no specific inch you should leave as your start line, but to avoid wastage of fabric, you can leave at least half an inch as your start line. Okay, so this is what I have here as my start line. I'm going to go ahead and place all my vertical measurements like you already know. And don't forget what I said when I was drafting the front, that the back is going to be 2 inches shorter than the front. So instead of the back half length to be 16.5, I'm making use of 14.5. I believe you understand. 14.5 instead of 16.5. It is 2 inches shorter. After which, I'm going to connect all the points I have for my horizontal measurements like so. And I hope you will not be confused saying how will 16 align with 14 is clear. Please, if that is not clear to you on this, because it's a freehand drafting, I will attach a link to this video on the description box on a tutorial I did about a bust dart to guide you on that. So what I'm placing here is my neck width of 3 inches, just like we have at the front. And for the depth, I'll be making use of 1.5. Can you see that? Okay, then I'll connect the both points using my curve rule like so. Be careful, I'm being careful because it's a shaky material. I will extend the connection to the zipper allowance. I'm going to cut that out so we'll know we are done with everything concerning the neck region. Okay, so this is it about the neck. Arrange it. Okay, so the next thing I'm placing here is my shoulder sloping of 1 inch, just the way we did in the front. 1 inch. I'll connect it back to the neck width like so, and I'll place half an inch shoulder allowance of half an inch. Okay, this is what we have. What I have here, I will equally measure it here at my armhole depth. Remember, all the measurements are starting from after the zipper allowance. After the zipper allowance, then I'll connect the point like this. Measure what I have there, which is 8, and divide it by 2, giving me 4. Divided by 2 like so. I'm having 4 over there. Make a point. Difference between the front and the back armhole, if you've been following this tutorial, that should be clear to you by now. Okay, so this is the point. So this is our back armhole, perfectly drafted. I'm placing my bust divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch seam allowance, just the exact allowance we used on the front. I'll do same for my waist. Take notes, all measurements are starting after the zipper allowance, not inside the zipper allowance. So the next I'm placing here is my dart leg, just the way I did in the front. I will extend the line. That's my bust span divided by 2 plus half an inch. Then I'll take half inch on both sides and we'll connect it upward. What I have there is 1. I'm replacing the 1 over here. Okay, then I'll connect from the waist to the chest line like so, and equally my darts, I will open it up by connecting upward towards the chest line. And this is it for the back. So let's go ahead and cut out the back bodies. Thank you for watching to this point. Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, share, comment, ask questions on the comment section. I'll be there to answer you. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bell to be the first person to know when next I drop a tutorial. So this is what we'll have after cutting for the back, and this is the front. Let's set it aside. Now we are going to be cutting the down parts. I'm folding the fabric on bias. You know how to fold a fabric on bias, like so. So I'll cut out the down part of the style now. So I'm trying to get my waist divided by 4. I'm going to cut it separately. I'll cut the first one for the front, then later cut the second one for the back. So I will keep adjusting it till I get the waist radius divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch joining allowance. Okay, so when I get that, I can proceed from there. Let me arrange everything properly. So this is it. That point is okay. So I'll try to roll a straight line. That is going to serve as my waistline. This will serve as my waistline. Okay. Then from the waistline, you minus your half length. Remember we worked with 16, so I'll minus 16 to get the full measurement plus 2 inches folding allowance. Sorry, I didn't know the camera wasn't showing the down parts. What I'm placing there is the full length plus 2 inches hemming allowance. That's, I'll use half inch to join the upper bodies, then 1.5 for folding. So this is it. I'll connect all the points so that it will be visible. Can you see what we are having? I'll cross check to make sure what I'm having is accurate. Okay, now I'll make a mark at my hip line. This is the hip line we are working with. This is required if you want the hip area to be fitted. Do you understand? So here I'm placing my hip circumference divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch is allowance. Then my waist divided by 4 over here plus 1.5 seam allowance and 1 inch for that. Let me place my dart. Remember our bust span divided by 2. Okay, I'll equally place it down here and make a connection, a straight line like so. I'm going to be putting that at this down part. That is what I'm doing here. Then I'll open up the darts placing half inch here and half inch on the other side. Then I will connect it to at least before 1.5 before the hip line. So this is what we are having. Okay, now we are going to cut it out. Then I'll make a notch here at the dart. I'm just going to hold it, I'm not cutting it open. So this is it for the front, the downside of the front. We are going to proceed now to cutting the back. But before we do that, you can see on the screen that the side is higher than the midpoint. So you determine how high you want it to be and you connect it like so. You can either connect it with a straight rule or you make a slant curve. Yes, you can see the picture I'm showing you on the screen. That is what I'm trying to create now. After going up by the side, you can go up by 2 inches, 2.5, 3 inches, even 5 inches, depending on what you're making. You can take it up to the waist. Yes, depending on the style you're making. But this is what I am working with. Okay, can you see how it is looking? So this is how it is looking. Now we are going to proceed with cutting off the back. Okay, so this is the front. Can you see the slanted effect I just gave now? We are setting it aside. Now we are going to cut the back by folding the fabric again on bias. When I say on bias, I mean folding in a triangular form like this. Then place the front on top of it, putting into consideration the zipper allowance of 2 inches. Okay, I will arrange it. So this is it with the zipper allowance of 2 inches. Every other thing is the same. The only difference is that the back has 2 inches zipper allowance, like you can see. Okay, so I'll go ahead and cut it out. Then we will cut open the zipper area. Cut it open. After that, we will set it aside. Then bring our fabric, fold into two. The part we are cutting is this part the arrow is pointing to, the flay parts. Fold your fabric into two. Then place the length of the flay parts. How do you know the length? Minus the half length, minus the length of the other part we just cut. Then the remaining part is the length of the flay. Okay, you can determine that from your measurements. So this is the length, and this length I am placing here. I'm adding the half inch for joining it to the upper body. Then I'm leaving 1.5 for folding the hem. Are we together? So this is it. I'm going to cut it out. And how do you know the length of the flay to cut out? You measure the round part of your dress and multiply by 3 or 4 or 2, depending on the quantity of fabric you have left. Okay, the more you multiply, the fuller the pleated part, the gather part, is going to be. So I've cut that first one. I'll go ahead and cut another one. Okay, I'm multiplying my own by 3. You can do by 2 if you don't have enough fabric. You can equally do by 1.5, but it will not be full enough. You can, but if you have much fabric, do multiplied by 3 or 4 inches. So let's go, guys. And this will be the last cutting part. Then we'll go into the sewing process. Okay, so this is the down part. I added a fusible interface on the zipper area side. Okay, this is the middle layer. You know, this outfit is in 3 partition: the upper part, the middle one, then the flay. Then this is the front. Okay, set that aside. For the upper bodies, this is the facing I cut out for the front. Can you see? I did not open up the keyhole for the facing. Take note, I did not open it up yet. I'm going to open it up after sewing. That's how I prefer doing any of these things that has to do with turning inside out. So this is the main bodice, and this is how I'm going to place it on top of the facing, right side facing each other. I'm going to sew it like so, using half of an inch all the way right round. Okay, so this is it with the facing set aside. And for the back, this is the back. Can you see them? I added a fusible interface at the zipper area. I'm looking for the facing. Where did I keep it? So this is the back facing. Can you see? Okay, so this is the good side. I'm going to align it good side facing each other, and I will join with half of an inch. Do you see the area also? I will sew the shoulder and sew towards the zipper allowance. That is for the back. So I've gone ahead to sew it like I told us. Can we see that? Then I'll go ahead and open it up now. Remember I told you I love opening it up after sewing, not before sewing. Then watch, I'm going to cut closely facing the cutting I have, following the cutting I have earlier. Can you see that? After cutting, I'm going to turn it inside out. Sorry, I will notch first. Cut off all the excesses and flip over to the good side. Be gentle when notching so that you don't cut through the thread. I've equally sewn the facing to the back. Can you see that? Notch and flip over. That is it for the back. So I'm going to flip over this one. You turn it good side inside out and give it a good press for this one. So let's turn this front over. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm pushing it inside out through the keyhole. Can you see what we are having? You will gently pull it all out. Then iron it. So after ironing, this is what we'll have. The next thing we are going to do is to secure the neckline using our bias. So I'm going to use this bias to secure the neck region right around the neck. Next, we are going to join the upper bodice and the lower bodice like so. This is our back. So we'll bring the down parts like so. We'll flip it over good side facing each other and join using half of an inch. Can you see what I'm doing? Using half of an inch, we'll equally close up the dart. For the front as well, we'll bring the front bodice, get the under parts, join using half of an inch, hold the darts. Okay, so I've gone ahead to do that off camera. Can you see? This is the back. I've joined the upper body and the middle parts. Hope you can see where I joined it using half of an inch. So the second part, I equally joined it using half of an inch. For the front also, I've joined the upper body and the middle part using half of an inch. Hope we can see what we are having right now. Okay. The next we are doing now is I placed the front good side facing upward, brought the back, placed it on top of it. Can you see that? I equally bring the second part of the back, place it on top of it, good side facing good side. I'm going to close up the shoulder like so using half of an inch. I'll equally close up this other part of the shoulder using half of an inch. I'll close up the side seam using 1.5. Do same for the side seam this side using 1.5. Then the next we are going to do is to fix our zipper. I'll fix the zipper on the zipper area as well. Remember, we left 2 inches for that. I don't want this video to be too long. It's getting long already. That's why I have to rush every of this process. Is anything you don't understand, ask in the comment section. I didn't actually want to make the video longer than it is already, so I had to just cut it. Sorry, please, if there is a question about fixing the flare part,
I will attach a video of it on the description box. Okay, I will attach a video of it on the description box. I will attach a video of the sleeve, of how to fix cut and sew a sleeve on the description box. So do well to check it out. But before you sign out, dance with me, okay? Let's celebrate together. I really appreciate you watching to this point. If you are still watching, let me know you're still watching by saying something nice about the dance move, okay? So I know you watched till the end. Hope you like. Bye. Thank you.